All right. Well, this is a very exciting day. It is wonderful to see everybody online. We are recording this so that we can have our celebration forever or until they take it off the cloud. But welcome to our all-cohort celebration for our CPCRN Scholars Program. It is hard to believe that this is the last month of this 5-year grant cycle. I remember being upstairs in our home when everybody was at home, and we were on Zoom planning the Scholars Program, and the wall behind me was green, and it wasn't that I was in a green room. We really have a green wall, and I had to say that on every call and every class that I taught, but we really have a green wall. And I'm pretty sure that my son was tying my legs up with ties or ropes or some of his toys while I was doing some of the Zoom calls, and he was trying to distract me. So we may have developed this program together while there were very strange things going on around us. I think we had children and pets and construction and all sorts of things going on. And this is really nice for all of us to be together. It's amazing how this all came together. And I thank Escoffery for sitting next to me at the first annual meeting of this 5-year cycle when we said, hey, why don't we propose this idea for a formalized scholars program for the CDC network? And then because of all of you, it came together. So I will be forever grateful. And of course, to the coordinating center who signed off on it. So, all right. Well, we want to welcome everybody and if you want to say a few words, and then we're going to turn it over to Stephanie Wheeler, and then we'll get into our program.
No, I just want to thank you all for being part of CPCRN, whether it's for 1 year or since 3 years ago, since we began the cohorts. It's been wonderful to see this whole program grow. And we have a lot of dedicated work group members whom we'll thank in a little bit. And of course, all of you for signing up and participating and basically participating in this program that was pretty novel, but yet in its early stages, and giving us feedback along the way, which you'll hear a little bit about in terms of our evaluation. We are just excited that we could be part of your journey in your career or in your place of work around cancer and implementation science. Not to say that the journey's over, so we want you to continue to be with us and into the next cycle, which we'll talk just a little bit about. So just welcome, and I know this will be a nice celebration and a nice closure for everybody. So thanks for being here.
All right. We would love to turn it over to you, Stephanie, to say a few words, and we really thank you. You have been such a strong guide and supporter of this program, and always here to give kudos to the scholars. So wanted to turn it over to you for a few remarks.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Daniela. Can y'all see me better now? It doesn't look like I'm on another planet anymore, does it? Okay, terrific. Well, hi, everybody. It's great to see all of you again. And, you know, I want to continue the congratulations that and Daniela shared. This program has been just absolutely tremendous. The amount of work that has gone into it and the successes that have been realized through the program. I don't think we envisioned when we started this, you know, back at the beginning of this cycle, that it would grow to the size that it has, and that you all would be as productive as you have, and that there would be such continuation and continued enthusiasm for engagement with our network. That has been just really exciting to watch. With that enthusiasm have come a lot of great new ideas, and we've seen the emergence of new work groups as a result of scholars who've been part of the program. We've seen just, you know, an explosion of products coming out of the work of the scholars, including papers and presentations and trainings. And we've also seen you guys receive a bunch of awards yourselves and be recognized. And you've had your own career transitions. You know, you've gone to graduate from your degree programs or be promoted or get jobs and join some of the faculties of our many universities and campuses that are part of this network, which has been really wonderful to watch. I think you should definitely view this network as a resource for all of you in your continued professional development. We often see people kind of moving around institutions among our friends network, and as opportunities come up, we always try to share those from CPCRN with you. And that's really fun to watch. It's really great when we see people who did their degree program at South Carolina then go on to take a faculty job at Iowa and then go on to lead a work group. I think y'all know who I'm talking about. And that's just really fun to be a part of and to be able to support. As Daniela and Com both said, we are very excited to continue the Scholars program in some form in the next cycle. And just in the last week, we found out at UNC that we've been asked to be the coordinating center again. So that's news to many people on the call, but we are very excited. We are in this for the long haul. We really are continuing to be committed to your growth, your professional development. And I want you to feel free to reach out to me. We hope that all of you will continue to stay engaged with the network in the next cycle. In whatever form you like, as a full member, as an affiliate, full member, as a lead of a work group, an interest group, as those emerge in the coming months. But most importantly, we want to continue to just hear from you and to celebrate your successes. I think I'll wrap up just by saying that the leadership that Daniela and Com have brought to this, and the leadership of the project directors, including Allie, and before that, Courtney and Sam, and so many others who've been part of the mechanics and the operations of this network, has been absolutely a joy to watch and be a part of. So thank you all for that commitment. It's really been exciting. And with that, I think I'll stop talking and look forward to hearing the rest of the program. And if there's any questions that I can answer, let me know.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. That is wonderful and not surprising news about UNC being the coordinating center again. So we are thrilled, and thank you for your leadership. And I know Becky's on, so thank you both. We are going to provide a brief tale over time about the Scholars Program. Some of you saw some of this already at the annual meeting when we were all in Chapel Hill together, but we have some more successes that we want to share about our scholars, and then we're going to have a round robin after that that Allie's going to lead. So I'll start us off and turn it over to Com. And here we go. So this is just really to show you the growth of the program over time, and that you can see the number of students and postdocs, faculty and researcher scholars and practitioners that we've had over time. We were very intentional with recruitment and increasing the number of practitioners who were involved in this program, and that's thanks to our federal partners who are also work group members. And so really want to thank Randy and then Aubrey for their support from NCI, and CDC was also part of the initial planning of this program. But just looking at the numbers over time, we were not sure how this was going to go. We said, well, maybe between 20 and 30. Let's see how this goes. And so we thought we did pretty well. We weren't sure what was going to happen, but we had an exponential growth even in the number of applications over the years. So this was pretty exciting, and also something to consider as we move forward in the next cycle is capacity to see what's possible. This size worked very well for us with the number of mentors we had. So as you can see, in total, we had 62 scholars over the 3 cohorts of the program. And then to the next slide, look at where all of the scholars were. This is pretty amazing. And this is a map and notes here that were included in a paper that we submitted thanks to Courtney and her student at Emory who developed this for us. We've submitted a lessons learned paper that about the Scholars Program. And this is just amazing. And then also thinking about how we went international with us having a scholar in Switzerland, and she is part of the implementation science group. So this is pretty amazing. All right. These were some papers that have been published about the Scholars Program and about research capacity. So we just want you to know, in case you haven't seen these, that you know, this is an official program that's out there, and you've all published about your research and we've all published about you. And so the planning of the program, Mary was so generous in her special issue paper for cancer causes and control for us to include the Scholars Program as one of the capacity building initiatives that was included. So thank you so much, Mary, for that. Com and Courtney and Mary and Kim and others were really instrumental with the mixed methods evaluation paper that was also published in the special issue. And this last lessons learned paper is what we have under review right now, and we'll share that with you all. Hopefully we'll hear some good news too. And as you can see, we have some scholars as part of the authorship group there, which was very exciting. We do want to share some of the evaluation that we did for the Scholars Program. I'm going to turn it over to Com to share these slides.
Yes, thank you, Daniela and Stephanie. We have a few just highlights hot off the press from our alumni survey of some of the ways that we got feedback from you about what you learn or what you gain. And so just to remind everybody, everybody did a baseline application that had a survey that asked about D&I sub-competencies. And then we asked a little bit about you and where you are, particularly if you're a student. We did exit interviews our first year. And then after that, we followed it up with just surveys each year. And then we also had cohorts alumni survey, which is typically a year later, so that we can kind of see all the good things that you've done or the project updates and things like that. So that was the 9 months, 9 to 12 months after the program. So we're going to hit some highlights, and I know it doesn't cover it all. You might be wanting to share other things, but I thought it'd be nice to kind of share the D&I competencies. It's a group developed from PADAC from WashU. And so there are different competency areas from definitions of D&I science all the way to D, practice-based considerations. And across all cohorts, you can see here pre and post, we see changes from basically more beginner to moving along the medium to advanced competencies. And I am particularly proud of like understanding for B, theories and approaches. And then for D, I feel like we're very community engaged and practice-based, which is what those competencies cover, that we saw a lot of big increases across that in all three cohorts. The other thing that a lot of you indicated to us, which was wonderful, that you learned about a lot about CPCRN, you were networking, and then the statistic that we have here at the bottom, that 80% of you are remaining engaged in some ways in CPCRN work groups and or interest groups, which is wonderful to see. And I think that's a really giving part of the Scholars Program. You know, we had designed it to do training and outreach and mentoring for you, but we're realizing all of the things that you're giving back and contributing to CPCRN as well. Next slide. Here are just some quotes from a couple of scholars. Again, these some of these are shared during the annual meeting, but being able to afford you all a chance for continuing learning, applying evidence-based approaches, which is what we want to hear, particularly to address cancer and health equity. And then many of you again highlighted the benefit of working with work groups and wanting to continue to work with work groups. We have two more quotes on the next slide. Again, you know, half of our scholars overall were students along all different spectrums, MPH, doctoral students, and then we also had postdocs. So being able to apply D&I science, particularly theories and frameworks to dissertation projects, I think was highlighted, and then just using implementation science theories, which is great to see across multiple levels in the first quote. So we were delighted to kind of see some of that. Stephanie alluded to some of this. We are getting more information from some of you with the Alumni Scholars survey, but just to highlight that you all are doing great things. These are just, again, some highlights of the places that you have gone since being in our program. Some of you are now postdocs. We have Dr. Garcia and Dr. Waters, Rising in Leadership in the Scholars. We have people participating in the Consortium for Cancer Implementation Science. That is kind of like a sister organization really trying to advance implementation science in cancer. And Dr. Guan and Perla are kind of co-leads of different of the work groups and things like that. We have several who have graduated and defended dissertations. So Jerry, I think is on the call today. We've had people move up and join our affiliate. One of our affiliate site, Dr. Craig, has just been named. This is a new thing that he just told us, a tenure track assistant professor at UT Houston School of Public Health. And we have trainees to be engaged in a lot of other training programs. So we love hearing all of this. So if you get the alumni survey and things like that, please let us know or just drop us a note often. I know that some of you are submitting NKs and other types of awards as well as you get your funds. Next slide. So these are some fun photos of the different cohorts. You might see yourself in some of these. So I'll let Allie go through them slowly. Maybe see how some of us have aged over time. Our fun photos too. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Allie.
And that'll bring us to our round robin sharing. So we would love to hear from you scholars, alumni scholars that are on the call today. I know some people might not be able to unmute, so if you want to put it in the chat, I can read it for you. But if you want to come off mute and share one or two of the following of these questions, we would love to hear from you. And then maybe pass along to another scholar that is on the call. That would be great. If anyone wants to get us started, we'll be monitoring the chat as well.
All right, Jaren said he can come off mute in 10 minutes, so somebody can popcorn it to him, and maybe we'll have a couple people go first and then pass it along to Jaren. So who would like to start?
I can start.
Jen, thank you. Take it away.
One takeaway, I think coming from not a institution that has a center, just like how connected everyone is in this network in general, just like Harvard doesn't have one, but I still have lots of faculty and mentors and stuff that are plugged in other ways through the affiliate thing. So that was really nice of like, once you're in or you know one person, you realize you like everyone overlaps and you know everyone. But I think that's just academia in general or cancer prevention. One achievement, kind of my goal for the program was to use this as an opportunity to kind of work with the Rural Cancer Working Group on dissertation papers. And my first paper, which I also at the spring meeting had a poster of, and waiting for comments from reviewers. So it's in the journal and was not just rejected the first time, but not the second time. So that was nice to kind of actually get that out and get lots of feedback from folks along the way that was like actively incorporated beyond just my committee. So that's nice. And then one connection I made, I had met, I guess it was Matthew Lee, who's at NYU. I had met him briefly at a training at WashU. And then I think through CPCRN, we kept seeing each other, but the like multiple days that we were able to see each other and like actually work, and we're like working on a paper together because I was bugging him with my ideas at the spring meeting, and now we're working on stuff. And I'm on the postdoc market, so it's nice to kind of have these sorts of different avenues of all these people that I've met to kind of like sell myself and get my name out there. So it's been great. And I'll pass it to Emily.
You must have seen me coming off mute to take the first position when no one else did. Let's see, one of my takeaways is actually very similar to Jen's, and I think it's just the breadth of the different research that's being done throughout the network. all, tangentially related, certainly in some way, to dissemination and implementation science. And I just think it's really interesting to see, the unique projects that are being done, but also the amount of overlap between the interests among the different people in the different working groups and just different people that are members of the CPCRN overall. So I think that's really interesting and really special to have this group that is so focused in this one particular area that happens to really align with my interests. And then I guess an achievement or accomplishment that I'm most proud of is, while a scholar, I was awarded a K99R00 through NCI. So I'm on that now, and that feels like a bit of an accomplishment. So I have, some support for about 5 years, and then we'll see what comes next. If we're doing the popcorn, how about Emmanuel?
Yeah, hi everyone. Emanuele Diaz here. I was part of the 2022 cohort, and I was involved for 2 years, I believe. I went to the Denver and the Atlanta meetings. And so I think one takeaway that I had from this program was just invaluable connections. And I was happy to see one of my quotes from the alumni survey, but I actually graduated with my PhD last fall, so it's been almost a year. And I have since then moved on to the government sector. And so I'm working as an ORISE fellow in the US Army, and finding ways to kind of interweave the implementation science background I have. And I think the achievement I'm most proud of was actually working on a journal supplement paper. And so I was involved in the health equity clarifying pause paper with Aaron Seaman and others. And it was just a really great project to be part of. And as far as connections, I think I just made so many connections. I was actually just this past week at the I forget the acronym, but the Training and Implementation Science by NCI. We had an in-person meeting on genomics, and it was great to just connect with many others in this implementation science space. And everybody knew what CPCRN was, so it was great to just have that in my back pocket. So yeah, I'm happy to be here again, and hopefully stay involved even in this new sector that I'm working in now. I'll pass it over to Kelly.
Hi, everyone. So one takeaway from the Scholars program, I guess it's more of an appreciation for how much community is embedded into the work that everyone is doing, and the acknowledgement from the network of the importance of community voice and agency in everything. So seeing, community members represented, community partners represented at the meetings, which is really, especially like in implementation science, I feel like a lot of times it's just very clinical. And so to see, a lot of our community partners there, I really had a strong appreciation for that. And then the connection side, I was able to connect with members of the health behaviors work group, and still excited for our project that we're going to be hopefully launching at some point soon, when we can kind of get back on track with everything. And then being able to connect with like Maria Fernandez as part of the organizational readiness interest group. Oh, I didn't mean to do the thumbs up, but yes, thumbs up to all of that. I've been wanting to connect with Maria for a long time, and then through the network was able to join that interest group, and then just be able to work with her. So I will pass it to Michelle.
Hello, thank you, Kelly. One takeaway from the Scholars program is that, yes, like everybody said, we're all in it together. And it was really good to meet everybody during the meeting in the spring. One achievement that I'm the most proud of is that I submitted a KOA during my time as a scholar. I was able to travel to DNI with Linda, and I also have a full draft of a project that I'm hoping to submit for publication, our CPCRN project. So that all feels that really, really great. One connection I made, I think strengthened my mentorship team, and we're really close to Linda while we've been working on this project, even though I already knew her before. It was so great to see all of the legends of cancer prevention and control during our spring meeting, and also meeting with Stephanie at the ASCO meeting, and all of those connections coming together, I think was really great. And it was also really great to connect with all the early career investigators during the spring meeting. I met with Ryan and Megan and Perla, and all of those people were all kind of in the same stage in our career. So it was really great to compare notes on, going to the job market and now looking at promotion and how to advance and how we can find people to hire and things like that. So I'm really grateful for the network, and I look forward to keeping in touch with everybody. And I will popcorn to Mary. Did she go already?
I think Mayuko,
Oh, Mayuko, sorry.
Melissa, Mayuko, and Jaren. Thank you so much, Michelle. All right, who wants to
I can go.
jump in there? Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. I joined the CPCRN Scholar when I was struggling to get the KOA, so it's just very great opportunity to step back and think about like why I wanted to do this type of research and training. So that was one, and also I really appreciate that my own project is more like clinical setting project, so it's very nice to see like all the important work happening at the community. And the other things I appreciate is just like very warm, like welcoming atmosphere. Like every time I join to the webinar and the Zoom, I think I participate in a couple of other training programs, and I really feel like this program is very special. So I just want to emphasize that, make sure everybody knows that's how special this program is. Other thing is about the work group. So I joined the lung cancer screening interest group and then also LGBTQ work group. And I appreciate all the discussion about the methodology. Like when I think about like interview method and so on, there's a lot of discussion going on, like how are we going to do this interview and which, stand are we going to take and so on. So I really appreciate that depth of the discussion about the methodology. And then I think my achievement or accomplishment as a scholar during this time was KO8. And then one connection I made was through this scholarship program, but also from the work group and also the interest group. And it's very nice to see everyone at the DNI conference or CCIS. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, and congratulations on the grants and everyone's accomplishments. Jaren, are you able to go off mute? We can come back to Jaren, maybe. All right.
I am. I'm so sorry, Daniela.
Excellent. Go for it if you're able to, please. Thank you.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, please forgive my parenting or lack thereof, because
Okay, we lost you first. We've lost you. We know you're not lost, but we've lost you. All right. Okay. We will keep going and we will come back. The next thing we have is the photo, but maybe we can go forward and then, oh, Jaren, do we have you again?
yeah, can you still hear me? I'm so sorry.
We can go for it.
Okay, well, I was just saying that depending on when our third is born, all three of our kids, my wife and I's kids, will have been born in this grant cycle. We have one on the way. But that said, I think really like that just goes to show how appreciative I am of this discipline in general. I felt like CPCRN was so inviting, and really I often credit, I accepted a promotion at the Department of Public Health, moving from tobacco to cancer, and I 100% credit that to CPCRN. And like even more than that, just finding a place that I'm able to share personal struggles and successes with, the joys and throes of being a parent and what that looks like, and just having established professionals like Com and Daniela who have done it before and can just talk with us about it, I think is huge. So that's both my biggest takeaway, and what I would say like the biggest connection or deepening of that connection was with Daniela and with Com, and just seeing kind of how we can incorporate, and I would say the biggest thing is tying in, Daniela calls it work-life harmony, right? But figuring out how to put all of this together into one successful career, I think has been just a fun learning process.
Well, thank you so much. And one thing that Jaron didn't say is he also defended his dissertation during this cycle. So that is that's fantastic too. So congratulations. Amazing accomplishments by everyone. And we know that your incredible careers are going to continue, and we hope that you'll continue to share that with us. And we'll talk in a minute about how you can stay engaged with CPCRN. The next thing looks like it is time for our group photo. If people are able to now join for the photo, I think that they'll be, James is not on the camera anymore, but he, let's see if we can get him back. There we are. Okay. So Jaron will Photoshop you in if you're driving, and there he is. Yes. Okay. Everyone's here. Okay, so Allie, you give us instructions. What would you like?
Smiling, you have to hold it for a minute, and
Okay.
then we'll do our fun one next.
Okay.
And you can add for the fun one, I think you can virtually add reactions and fun things.
All right.
If you don't have any props on hand. So we'll do our smiling one first. So everyone will hold a smile for me for a minute after James finishes his coffee. Okay.
I don't drink coffee, no coffee.
It's tea. Okay.
Tea, ready?
Okay.
Keep holding. Okay, got the smiling, and now we'll do our fun one.
Okay. All right. All right. What is James holding in his hand? Is that a gamecock?
Gamecock.
Okay.
We're
all
ready
right.
for our fun. So hold your.
Oh, we have
fun
children,
one.
pets. Oh, I love that on Michelle's screen and Becky too. Oh, look at this,
Okay,
Stephanie.
smile
Okay.
for me there. And we got our fun one. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again, and we're gonna go back to the PowerPoint.
I
But
love
got
that.
those.
Oh, that was amazing. Kelly, everyone, that was amazing. All right. Okay, so one way to stay engaged is because you're just going to want to be involved with getting photos taken like that, because what other network does that, really? So there are many ways to stay engaged. As you know, when a new grant cycle starts, there'll be new brainstorming and discussions, and that is always fun and exciting, and there will probably be new colleagues and those staying engaged. So what we've included here is what CPCRN looks like right now. What's exciting about a network like this is that people are open to those proposing new work groups and ideas, and that's what makes this network so very special. So if you are at a funded site, you'll be able to stay engaged. I love, Jen, what you said about affiliate, being an affiliate member and still being able to be engaged. And we have strong affiliate individual members and sites, and that's really exciting. Being able to be at the annual meetings and then also the conferences. Not all networks come together to have a social or to bring people together, and how Becky does that and organizes that for the cancer conferences and for DNI is very special. So you know, I think that that opportunity will probably continue, so that's wonderful. And this is what our work groups and our interest groups look like right now. Isn't this amazing? This is amazing. We always start a cycle saying, don't have too many work groups. It's hard to work across work groups. We always do that. And then we always say that in the last year of a cycle and on the steering committee. But look at what everyone has been able to accomplish, and thinking about the deliverables and the leadership of all of these work groups and your involvement as scholars contributing to main seminal projects and papers that have come out of these work groups and interest groups is pretty amazing. So again, there's the disclaimer with the asterisk there that there may be some modifications, but the work will continue, and so stay tuned on what that will look like. All right. Last but not least, it does take a village, and we had a pretty fabulous work group that came together to pull together what this Scholars program should be. And just, we want to recognize everybody on this slide: James, Mary, Swan, Aubrey, Cindy, Elaine, Stephanie, Becky, the whole coordinating center for website, and all the questions that you all got from us and emails that we've sent over time. And then Cindy and Randy. This was, I think that was her given name, and now, oh my gosh, Peggy, not Penny. We're going to modify this. It was Peggy, yes. Okay. Penny's a nice name too. We have family friends named Penny. I also like Peggy. And Jennifer, and all of the mentors. Some of you signed up as mentors, and we have mentors on the call, and you mentored multiple scholars. And I think Stephanie had 7 scholars one year. And so that was pretty amazing. But I remember one of the first planning calls that we had, and we had this huge spreadsheet up with many, many rows of everything that we were planning. And I had the green wall behind me. And I remember Jennifer wisely said, okay, we need to focus on particular things. Let's focus on the D&I competencies. Let's focus on cancer prevention and control, give people a background. Our federal agency partners gave us wonderful resources that we should include in the Trello board and in the actual curriculum. And we moved forward. It was really helpful to have everybody's input on how we should narrow down the program. We also then did the surveys every year and got feedback, as Com said, so that we could modify and tweak based on your needs, the scholars' needs, what the mentors were saying. And then what did we end up doing in the final year? We ended up kind of adding back in what we took out at the beginning, because just the way it was planned, we included the content that we really needed to, and then just realized what else people needed with respect to the professional development and the webinars and other programming that that scholars were looking for. So it has just been amazing to see how the program and the curriculum evolved. And it also shows the importance of doing evaluation along the way, so we can improve what we're doing and take into consideration the needs when you have a training program like this one. All right. Com, did I miss anything? And I'm going to turn it over to you for this slide, but in case I missed anything with the prior slides, please add anything in.
No, we just want to say thank you again. I know that some of you have re-engaged with us in this all cohort year, but even if you were able to join us for the year that you were in a cohort, although as many of you said, you've been in some of our annual meetings, you've been in work groups. So I have seen many of you on this call in other venues, having dinner at the in-person meeting. It's been wonderful. Thank you for being part of our Scholars program and making us a part of your professional journey. We want to thank Courtney and Sam, who were with us initially, and then Allie, as you have been engaged in this last year working with Courtney. It's been great. You all are the face of this. Daniela and I are only your sidekick. So thank you so much. And then, of course, I can't thank the coordinating center. I think, you know, we are trying to support you all as best as we can with the curriculum, but they allow you to be able to be seen at other places, have wonderful fellowships at other meetings, whether it's ASPO or the DNI, help you get funds to go to some of the in-person meetings if your sites or affiliate centers don't have the funds. So, and then really building up the Scholars website over the cohort years, and for us to kind of keep track of all of you, and hopefully to advertise for future rounds of Scholars into the future. So we want to thank everybody for their support. And Allie, I'll let you do the last plug for all of the evaluation and feedback.
Just as a friendly reminder, if you could send or fill out the all cohort year evaluation survey by the end of the day, this Friday. If you have any questions about it, please reach out to me and I'll be sending a final reminder this week, but we're going to use this information to see what you liked, what you disliked about our all cohort professional development year. And it really helps us with planning future events. And also just to get one last touch base with you guys, if any emails have changed, so we can stay connected with you all as well. But thank you for attending, everyone. This was great. I loved hearing all of your accomplishments.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. I think we have come to the end of the program. I saw the question in the chat from Jen, and per Stephanie, we should be hearing soon officially about the funded sites, but regardless, please stay engaged. This is a wonderful community to stay involved with. And one thing that we didn't say today, but that we like to say because it is really true, that many of us have grown up in this network. And so it, you know, thanks on our side here in South Carolina, thanks to James, you involved me and got me involved with this network. And, you know, I'm forever grateful, and to be able to involve our students in this program as coordinators, as scholars, that's pretty amazing. And I know that Com and others have, and Stephanie have had that experience and mentorship, and it's just incredible. So thank you. I think that's our last slide, but we have a little bit of time. I don't know if any of the mentors or work group members want to share anything. I know we have James, if you wanted to add anything, and Mary, before people step off the call, love to hear from you.
Yeah, well, this is kind of amusing. So some of you know I also have a company, and we put in an application for the DII, the Dietary Inflammatory Index, for an SBIR grant, and it's a recipe calculator. And I had a talk with David Chambers about this, that it was a really interesting conversation. And I decided, well, you know, I don't really want to do another RCT. You know, I'm an RCT kind of, I mean, I'm a weird epidemiologist in the first place, that I do intervention studies. And I said, there's no need for this. We know if you lower your DII score and you're eating an anti-inflammatory diet, good things are going to happen. And we're really beyond the point where we have to do, you know, that kind of research. And I talked with Daniela about this, and we decided, well, wouldn't it be cool to do a D&I project on the DII? And that's exactly what we did. So in our application, I don't know how it's going to fly, but what we did in the application was propose a D&I project as opposed to a regular RCT. So even I, who are probably twice as old, maybe 3 times as old as the youngest amongst us, I'm capable of learning too and adapting and so forth. But I thought that was a funny story in the sense that we're doing D&I on the DII, because we've had confusing conversations around here about that, because, you know, I live and breathe and drink and do everything I else do relative to the DII, and that related to D&I research is really cool.
Thank you for sharing that, James. Stephanie, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know if everyone can see the chat, but I wanted to note, Becky put in the chat the expedited affiliate member interest survey or form. So if you definitely know that you want to stay engaged with the network, we decided to have this fast track option so that we don't have to go through the usual steering committee process, because we know all of you who are part of the network already, and we'd love to just continue that and remove any barriers. So this is like the the lightning lane or the express pass at the theme park. You get to bump to the front of the line and be done with it. So come on the roller coaster with us for the next round.
That's wonderful. Can you recommend something like that for the DMV too in some situations? I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah, that's not nearly as fun though, Daniela. Nobody
Yeah,
wants
I guess
to get to the
so.
front of the line at the DMV.
That's true. If I'm the only one in the line, then that's good. Mary, you've also been such a strong supporter and partner and mentor, and we want to thank you. If there's anything that you want to share or add, I just think of the number of mentors that number of scholars that have been at UNC, and you organized all the mentors, so we thank you.
Yeah, nothing to add. I'm just really proud at how far the CPCRN program has come along, and how far all of the, alumni have also gone, and I can't wait to see where we go next.
Excellent. I think that's the perfect comment to wrap up with. Con, what do you think? We will see where we go next, and thank all of you so much for being here today. Allie, thank you for organizing, and Stephanie for being here to provide kudos and joy for our scholars from the coordinating center. Thank you, and Becky. Con?
And there's more. So I'm sure the coordinating center, as Becky and Stephanie learn about the funded center, or CDC makes an announcement, you all will see that. And I know there's always a beginning meeting in the next cycle. So I think it'll be onward. So thank you all for being with us, and we'll keep bringing you along the journey with us.
Thanks so much. Take care.